Oh, I was, yes, and I was very excited about it.
We're just doing, we all going to say,
She's not worried about him, is she? No, she's
how was the other animals?
She's got enough to handle. This is happy and she's shy. So
Oh.
this is Puck, he's the opposite.
All right, come here, baby. Come here. Oh, good dog. Come here. Smell it. Take a smell. Take a smell. Because when you see animals and smell, I'll give you the dog and I'll go. You stirred him up.
He does, at that age.
Please join me in our chalice lighting words found in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create a loving community. Suzanne Andrews has our story this morning.
Good morning. This is the story of Salty, told by Jane Goodall in her book, The 10 Trusts. This story takes place on 9/11, 2001. Omar Eduardo Rivera was working at his desk on the 71st floor of the North Tower when the hijacked airliner struck the building 25 floors above him. Mr. Rivera is blind, and his guide dog, Salty, was lying at his feet. Mr. Rivera said, "I stood up and could hear pieces of glass were flying around and falling. I could feel the smoke filling my lungs, and the heat was just unbearable." And of course, it was pitch dark in his sightless world. He knew he could not run down the stairs in the confusion of screams and shouting and rushing feet. And he said he was resigned to dying, but he hoped that Salty might escape. I unclipped his leash, ruffled his head, gave him a nudge, and ordered him to go. For several minutes, Mr. Rivera struggled on his own in the chaos. Then, suddenly, he felt a familiar knee-high nudge. Salty had returned to guide his friend down into the street. "It was then I knew for certain," said Mr. Rivera, "that he loved me just as much as I loved him. Their nightmare descent took them an hour, but they got out just before the building collapsed."
Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro. I'm the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, and I'm the minister of this congregation. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the Holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we are interconnected, no one is free until we all are free. So we strive to create beloved community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Whether today is your first or your 1,000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders, and today many species. We are all growing, all learning, and all loved. Should you have your phone on in church, make a noise. However, it's possible that your animals will be making noise. This is our animal blessing, and those things happen. There are cleaning stations. Suzanne, where are they? Where are the cleaning stations? Out on the sanctuary,
In the lobby.
and in the lobby,
Out front.
and out front for pet bathroom situations. Those happen too. If your animals are disruptive to you or your neighbors and you really feel like you need to take them outside, these doors are unlocked. You can take them onto the labyrinth and someone will come get you when it's actually time for the blessing part so you don't miss out. This section over here contains human animals only. So if you're more comfortable sitting only with human beings, this is the place to go. Then this section is mask only, I guess, except for creatures, you know. Our theme for April to September is signs of life, and we know that life crawls and howls and makes a mess just as much as it sings. Our ministry team here at UUCG is Cindy Dillard, our Director of Children's and Youth Ministry, who's on study leave right now, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, and Luke Steichleather, our Experimental Director of Music. And we are so happy to have Max Goolsby back with us as our guest singer. Welcome back, Max. How beautiful it is to be together.
A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living. Holding ourselves to these holy aspirations, will you join me in our church covenant found in your order of service? We, members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to promote a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest. Speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love, thereby maintaining emotional, physical, and spiritual safety for all. Support UUCG and denominational efforts with our resources. Combat injustice while promoting equality. Nurture our children on their spiritual journey. Hold ourselves to this covenant, especially during times of conflict and disagreement. Please join in our opening hymn in your gray hymnal, number 175, We Celebrate the Web of Life. Won't you wave hello to those of us who are online? If you're online, this is your opportunity to go into the chat and introduce yourselves. If you're in person, let's greet our neighbors.
gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living, in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, in the knowledge that we are powerfully, profoundly connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these few minutes of silence, as best we can manage that, you can focus on something you're grateful for, someone or some beast you are remembering especially today, or just the sensation of your chair supporting you. Will you find a comfortable place in your seat and take a few easy breaths as we settle into our shared silence together? Bring all the echoes in our hearts before our community and before the holy in this sacred space and time. If you're online, this is your time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone you'd like added to our prayers, fill out a yellow card which the ushers will collect from you. If there's a joy on your heart, you can place a flower in the vase, and if there's a sorrow, you can place a stone in the bowl. You can light a candle of prayer and presence for someone you're holding close to you today. And if you're not sure how you're feeling, or maybe you're feeling a little antsy, there are pipe cleaners in the back, which you can feel free to fidget with. Yeah. Okay, there's not pipe cleaners in the back, it turns out, today. So you can fidget with other things. You may have brought your own needlework, for example. You can feel free to do that. In church, we practice becoming more fully human. This is our time to take stock of how we arrive here and to take what we need, knowing the table is set for us all. Will you join me in prayer and presence? Mariah Brown offers prayers for another shooting at another school in Nashville. And all of our prayers of sorrow and rage are with all those who have died. Yeah. Fred Lehman is thinking of his neighbors, Rob, Terry, and Alex, who lost a daughter and sister recently. And Fred, our prayers are with you and your neighbors and their loss. Mariah Brown offers prayers of joy for Christian Morgan from News 25, who just got engaged. And our prayers of joy and gratitude for his love and commitment are with him. Thank you for sharing. Suzanne Cole offers prayers of joy, the joy of belonging in a loving and caring community whose membership includes the loving and caring Rick Tolley. Our prayers for Rick and our joy for his presence. Brandy Racchianti says her parents, Debbie and Larry Klein, are celebrating 41 years of marriage today. Our prayers of joy and celebration are with you, Brandy, and your family. Merritt Waite is enjoying a visit from his son and his husband, who are here from Mexico. And Merritt, our prayers of joy are with you and your family. We name aloud or in the chat all those people on our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Life and love, God of many names and beyond all naming, source of all. We pray this day in the words of Gary Kowalski. We give thanks for the animals who live close to nature, who remind us of the sanctities of birth and death, who do not trouble their lives with foreboding or grief, who let go each moment as it passes and accept each new one as it comes, with serenity and with grace. Enable us to walk in beauty as they do, at one with the turning seasons, welcoming the sunrise and at peace with the sunset, as we hallow the memory of good friends now departed, who loved abundantly and in their time were loved, who freely gave us their affection and loyalty. Let us not be anxious for tomorrow, but ask only that kindness and gratitude fill our hearts day by day into the passing years. We ask these things for ourselves, for those we love, and for those we do not yet love. Amen. Are invited to join their teachers for class, but everyone else stays in worship. So let's sing them out. Go in peace, go in love, go in joy. Go in peace, go in peace, go
Good morning. My name is Katie Claude. Use my technology. So it was only 2 months into the pandemic and the walls were closing in. I was adjusting to working at home every day, shifting around things in my house to make room for my work, and settling in for the long haul, displacing everything else to make room for my work life. Living alone with no relatives in town meant there was no reason to risk seeing anyone, ever. It was just me and the walls. After my last dog, Molly, died, I decided I wouldn't get another dog until I could be home with them more. My life had evolved to friends and activities and outings, and I knew I would never be home enough. So the world conspired to make that work out for me. So you know what happens next. 2 months into it, I couldn't stand it anymore. And with Suzanne's help, I went to go find a puppy. Baby Melody picked me out of the litter of humans and came home with me about 4 months into the pandemic. So we call our dogs, all our pets, babies, but dogs especially are really more like toddlers. They're kind of in that cute part of the terrible twos. You know, they know some words and they can walk around and they kind of know what they're supposed to do, but it's really hard to remember. It's really hard to remember those things. When a bee is buzzing or a sandwich is too low for its own good, you know, there's a ball to chase, there's something going on. They pay attention to everything you say and do, like a toddler, and they learn words you don't want them to learn. They know exactly which shoes mean that they could be going O-U-T, and you learn how to spell all the words that they learned by accident. Pets live in the now. Their reality is a continuing episode of nows. They don't care whether we played catch 30 minutes ago, or they just had a cookie, or dinner is 2 hours from now. Why not now? They live in the now. Caring for pets gives us humans permission to also live in the now. To throw the ball or watch the birds, to focus right down to the moment. It also gives us a toddler who loves us in that very uncomplicated, unconditional way. Once I got Melody, my pandemic experience transformed. Suddenly, I had someone bouncing off those walls, investigating every corner of my exile and finding it interesting. There were so many things to chew and dig. Suddenly, I had something else to focus on while stuck at home, not just work 24 hours a day. My boss and my coworkers noticed the difference. I had something else to think about and something else worth dividing my time for. Dogs know when you're unhappy. They know when they accidentally hurt you or scratch you because they know what crying sounds like. In those moments, dogs know to give you hugs and kisses and to snuggle up into your lap to comfort you. The terrible twos last until they're about 10. Then something happens and suddenly something shifts and they suddenly grow into this confidence. They calm down. They don't worry about every passing FedEx truck and every squirrel in the tree. This is a great phase when they accept the world exactly as it is and it's not so startling and they know their place. So how do pets enhance our lives? By living it moment to moment. By taking up space and filling it with toddler energy, by reminding us that work is not all about, life is not all about work and chores and bills. Most of my furniture has been nibbled. Most of my carpet has muddy paw prints. Most of my bed is taken up by long legs that squish me over to the side. But in the morning, my toddler wakes me up every day with a sparkle in her eye and kisses, wanting to know, what are we gonna do now? Thanks.
you have words, I think, in your order of service to this song. Loquat is a sweet little yellow fruit that grows on a tree in California and then also down south. So that will give you some background. You also may sing along at any point, especially during chatter, chirp, squeak, and buzz. That will be great fun if you'll help us. Thank you.
Out in the back by the great state fence is a place where nature makes so much sense. All the creatures living in harmony. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree. Fuzzies and furries run, walk or fly, having a feast beneath the clear blue sky. Animals coming from miles around, bounce the branch and make the loquat down. Squirrel. Squirrel, the sparrow, and the mouse and the bee all having a party in the loquat tree. Eating all the yellow fruit they can see. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree. Picking at 'em, hiding them away, saving them up for a rainy day. No matter how big, no matter how small, there's more than enough, there's plenty for all. The sparrow and the mouse and the bee all having a party in the loquat tree. Eating all the yellow fruit they can see. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. Every little loquat holds a seed for a brand new baby loquat tree. One of these seeds may find its way to a place in the sun, and then someday the squirrel and the sparrow, the mouse and the bee all having a party in the loquat tree. Eating all the yellow fruit they can see. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree. The squirrel and the sparrow and the mouse and the bee all having a party in the loquat tree. Eating all the yellow fruit they can see. It's a wild, wild party in the yellow fruit. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree. Chatter, chirp, squeak, buzz. It's a wild, wild party in the loquat tree.
Please join me now in spirit and presence as we bless the animals who share our world but are not our pets. Blessings to the wild creatures that walk the earth. May they live free and undamaged by man-made troubles, such as loss of habitat, chemical ground contamination, poaching, injury by motor vehicle. Blessings to the creatures of the waters. May they swim freely according to their natures, untroubled by chemical and sonar pollution, huge floating rafts of plastic waste, warming waters due to climate change. Blessings to the flyers, the birds, the bees, the bats. May they be able to soar and migrate as they must and not be destroyed by loss of nesting ground, vehicle collision, light pollution in the night. Blessings to the animals domesticated for human use, for their eggs, their milk, their wool, or their meat. May they be allowed to live lives of dignity, free from cruel conditions and pain. And if they must die, let their ending be quick and humane. Blessings to the laboratory animals used by science to make discoveries for the greater good of all life. Let them not be used for frivolous purpose. May they be housed and treated with respect due to all sentient beings, according to the Animal Welfare Act of 1966. And blessings to the workers of the animal world, horses, donkeys, llamas, camels, all beasts of burden carrying things. And many workers are dogs, seeing-eye dogs like Salty in our story, medical support dogs, cancer detection dogs, search and rescue dogs, police, military dogs, and the herding dogs. May their work be respected and appreciated, for they do it not for money, but for the love of their handlers and for dog biscuits. Anyone who's interested in animal welfare is invited to seek out the UU Animal Ministry online. They have newsletters, webinars, and Zoom groups, all about ways to make a difference to creatures great and small. Blessed be. Now, we revise in body or spirit for hymn number 203 in the Gray Hymn Book, All Creatures of the Earth and Sky.
Hallelujah.
first, we invite all of you remembering a pet who has died to bring your pictures or your mementos to the memorial table. If you haven't brought anything, but you're remembering a pet, you can come forward and just place your hand on the table. Speak their name out loud into this holy space. We ask blessings this day on all those companions who have died. May their memories be sweet and their love and presence remembered. In the Romance languages, the word blessing comes from the same word as wound. When we offer blessings, we also acknowledge the wounds of loss and the possibility of it. These creatures whose lives are so much shorter than ours, whose language is presence and need. To love what dies is a blessing indeed. Our animal companions bless our lives, and the loss of them is a terrible, sweet echo. The phantom click of nails on the floor, the empty water bowl, the sunbeam on the carpet with no creature basking in it. And yet what is short is sometimes sweeter. As Katie offered in her reflection, reminding us to live now, to not wait. And so may the lessons of our lives with our animal companions teach us and enrich us and remind us to live now. We invite anyone with a living pet, either here in body or just with a photo or just your presence, to form a line for a blessing for your animal. all these creatures for their uncomplicated love, for their honest expression for need and want. Bless their hunger and their need for space and attention, just so. In gratitude for the many ways they enrich our lives, we say amen.
Bless the beasts and the children, for in this world they have no voice. They have no choice. Bless the beasts and the children, for the world can never be the world they see. Light their way when the darkness surrounds them. Give them love, let it shine all around them. Bless the beasts and the children, and give them shelter from the storm. Keep them safe, keep them warm. Light their way when the darkness surrounds them. Give them love, let it shine all around them. Bless the beasts and the children, give them shelter from the storm. Keep them safe, keep them warm.
Thank you, Max. Beautiful. One of the ways that we live out our mission to create loving community is to contribute financially to the ministries of this congregation and to the good work of our community partners. One of the ministries of this church is our Minister's Discretionary Fund, which is available to anyone in a tough spot. We can help with medical bills, rent, groceries, or other needs. Please contact the church through our website. Our offering this month goes to Mustard Seed Community Health, located in the Cottage Grove neighborhood in East Greensboro, and nationally recognized as a model for integrated care. Mustard Seed Community Health patients are some of the most vulnerable people in Guilford County. Many don't have health insurance. Many are living in homes that make them and their families sicker. And many are struggling with trauma or struggling simply to put healthy food on the table. Before the Mustard Seed Community Health Clinic opened in 2013, many people went without health care, and their problems became acute or even irreversible. If you'd like to make a contribution for our offering to be split with Mustard Seed Community Health, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. You can text GIVE to the number in your order of service. You can also mail a check. Ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. Will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words found in your order of service? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
If you're online and you'd like to get more connected, click the link in the description of this video and fill out our contact card. If you're in person, fill out a pink form at the visitors table, visit our website for our contact form, or stick around for post-worship adult religious exploration. First, thank you to Betsy Lindsay and Suzanne Andrews, who masterminded this Blessing of the Animals. I've never been to one, so this was new for me, but not new for the church. So thank you, Betsy and Suzanne, for all of your hard work. Really, really beautifully done. From the Stewardship Committee, we continue to make progress in reaching our pledge goal, but we've heard from less than half of the congregation. Our callers are ready to start checking with you if you've not pledged. And hopefully their call will inspire you to reach your best decision regarding your pledge amount, one that respects your needs as well as the ongoing needs of the church. When we call, we will leave you a voicemail, so please return the call so we can remove you from the call list if you're not, wait, what? What does that say? Yes, okay, right, thank you. Okay, call them back. This is what this announcement says. It says pick up the phone and call them back so that they can keep track of who they've spoken to when they're making all their follow-up calls. You can pick up a paper pledge form any Sunday at church. You can also pledge online.
Where are the forms? I'm going to be at the back of the church when I go. Where? They'll be out. I'm giving them out in the lobby.
You can get a form from Linda Sullivan, who's going to raise her hand right now and wave to you. Linda will give you a paper form. It's not the size of your pledge, but your commitment to our ability to thrive as a church that matters, and every bit helps. We're grateful for all that you do to make our congregation a loving community, and whatever amount you give helps us keep this community alive and housed. All right, this is bronchitis, and it is not contagious. So next Sunday, Easter Sunday, is my last Sunday before a sabbatical. I'll be gone until August 25th and back with you on Sunday, August 27th. Details about the ministry during that time have come out in a separate e-news. There's a link to that in the ongoing e-news to hopefully answer many, many of your questions. And now you might recognize the Reverend Patty Hanneman from our music transition and reflection process. She'll be our part-time sabbatical minister, so she'll be with us a lot during that time. Finally, today, our adult religious exploration is in the sanctuary. It's the final presence practice led by Carolyn Cottom and Tom Cronkite, and that will begin at 11:15. From Albert Schweitzer, our benediction. Hear our humble prayer, O God, for our friends, the animals, especially for animals who are suffering, for any that are hunted or lost, or deserted, or frightened, or hungry, for all that must be put to death. We entreat for them all thy mercy and pity, and for those who deal with them we ask a kind heart of compassion, gentle hands, and kindly words. Make us ourselves to be true friends to animals, and so to share all the blessings of the merciful. Go in peace. Rise in body or in spirit for a benediction hymn from this house.